of SDGs or ESGs? Oh, sorry, there is one question from De Chungyan. Yeah, let me to read it for you, sir. Normally, poor country or families' children don't have enough money to buy IT gadget for their study. Maybe Zoom access was also difficult during pandemic era. If so, how they won't be behind for education under SEG era?
All right. I will try to unmute myself just now. Sorry. Thanks for that particular question. From Dajung, Yun Dajung. Right. Thank you for this particular important question. So that's why, I mean, coming back, I'm not from United Nations, of course, but we believe this thing happens when, especially in the pandemic time, when pandemic time where everyone have to go class online, everyone are forced to go the class online. This is from my experience. Class online to class level what we we recognize not every gadget. The second thing that we recognize in the university, in my class or in my connection, especially when we were locked down at that time, and the students were locked down in their own home, from rural area, right? You can imagine that even here in Malaysia, even in my the place that where I come from right now, the internet connectivity might not be 100% stable at all the time throughout the class. You know, I have numbers of students actually who going to class, or I mean joining the online class. 2 minutes then cut off, 2 minutes then cut off, and then have to join back, and so on and so on. So we recognize this kind of thing, and of course, as what been mentioned here, these are the issues, not just at the country level, district level, but this is a global issues, which numbers of reports actually have posted up actually how many are left behind because of the pandemic in terms of education. So it is good. So how this can be done, for me, from my point of view, is that this can be done on a much more smaller scale. We have this, of course, in SDG and SDG4 that is focused on quality education, to provide access to education for everyone. Everyone should have a chance to go to school, at least. That's the idea behind here for quality education. But then again, when the pandemic and of course with all other disruption happens, so they need assistance at the macro level, at the country level, or SDG United Nations level. Of course, it cannot covers everyone. So that's why you have to go much more smaller scale. At the micro level, at the university level, at the colleges level, at the school level, at the classroom level, this is where the educators, the lecturers, the universities, the district, the provinces have to identify who are in need, what types of intervention need to be done. Not enough gadget, of course, and internet connectivity are the two main things. I think I have to mention to all and everyone inside this room right now. I only subscribe to internet at my home. I only subscribe to internet at my home because of the pandemic. Before pandemic, I don't have internet at my home. I use it in my office normally. I don't even have a desktop in my home. But in the pandemic time, I subscribe to internet connectivity. I have a desktop right now. I have an office right now in my home. This is my office home. This is my office in my home. I do because of the pandemic, of course, because of online class and whatnot, webinar and so on. But why I can do so? Not because I have the kind of at least I can at least I have the kind of capacity. I'm proud. I mean, I'm more. I'm much more well given in that sense to have this kind of opportunity, to have this type of facilities that I can subscribe. But not everyone have this kind of luxury like myself. So let's go back to your main question again. So for me, how to do this, the intervention should go in a very micro level. So at our school or at my at our faculty at that time, we try our best to identify the students who have this issue, gadgets, internet connectivity. And what we do, what intervention that we do after the lockdown been lifted, although the university is still closed, with this, when we identified these students, we propose to them, to their family, to ask them to come back to the campus, this group of people, which I would say my faculty, we don't, it's not a very big number at that particular time, but we have very significant number. We asked them to come back to the campus, I think at that time by, forget about that, 2020, maybe by the second half of 2020, we asked them to come back to the campus. Why? Because they don't have the gadgets, they don't have perhaps stable internet connectivity. They come back to the campus, they can use the facilities in the faculty. Classes are still conducted online, but they can come to the faculty or perhaps in the colleges where they stay. The universities, they can use the facilities in universities like the computer. They can do the work there with, of course, with all the face masks and everything else at that time. The lockdown we lifted in the country, in Malaysia here, and come back to the campus and enjoy the class still online with stable internet connectivity and gadgets itself. That's what the intervention that we did in the faculty. Of course, this have to be identified earlier on. So what we do, like in the faculty also, the second thing that we do is that we'll identify them. We also create we create a lot of WhatsApp group, all these WhatsApp groups and so on. We identify the phone number, we call them. Those cannot be reached, we have to call. We have to identify, ask them, oh, you can be connected to WhatsApp. Oh, that's good. At least we have a group before the class start, and then identify who have this problem, who don't have this problem, and of course the one that having it and have the opportunity, we discuss with the family, they want to come to the university, we can do that. No problem. They can stay for free in the university. They can use the facilities for free. That's not an issue because they have this issue, problem and so on. That's what we did. So that's, for me, you go to the micro level, not necessarily at the higher level of the country. This can be done. But thanks for the question.
Thank you very much, Dejung. So gadgets or internet connectivity are also important, yeah, Doctor, yeah. But what needs to be emphasized is the quality, quality of education, the paradigm of education, the same as so we absorb the meaning of SDG. Yeah. So any other question?